Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're talking honestly about a question a lot of people are asking. Is tourism in Thailand slowing down in 2025? Are fewer people visiting? And could this affect anyone planning to retire or live long term here in Thailand? Now, I'm not here to push the doom and gloom on the internet like a lot of people do. I'm not here to say Thailand is finished like some angry expats online you hear about. What I'm going to do is look at the real situation on the ground with facts and not rumours. Tourism numbers are still high in Thailand, but they are definitely down. From January to August 2025, Thailand brought in about 20.8 million visitors, which is a huge number still, but it's still over 7% lower than the same period last year. The Tourism Authority of Thailand is now aiming for around 6.7 million more visitors in the last 2 months of 2025 to catch up. So Thailand is still busy on the ground, just not as busy as it used to be. So what's caused this drop? Well, I think there's a few things that have caused this, drop in tourism. The first big thing was definitely that earthquake that happened in Myanmar. That shook parts of Thailand for sure. That's never really happened before. And that building in Bangkok under construction collapsed, and people, there was not a person who lost their lives. Even though the earthquake wasn't in Thailand, the images kind of went global, and headlines, influenced travel decisions. Even my mum and dad, phoned me and said, "Oh, what's happening?" Oh, and they're in the UK, and they phoned me and said, "What's happening over in Thailand?" With this earthquake in Bangkok. If something bad happens, it does travel quite quickly. And something unusual for Thailand as well. News does travel quite quickly. Secondly, there's been a political change. I don't really want to talk about that much on here. That's just, a new, different prime minister has come in. That's something else that's happened. That creates it a bit unstable in the country when there's a new prime minister coming in. So the third would be, some checkpoints near Cambodia temporarily been closed earlier this year. Things have calmed down now, and it's getting back to normal once again, guys. But if you hear on the media border tensions, tourism takes a hit, and it can kind of put you off. And when you hear things about conflict in countries, it kind of puts you off going there as a tourist. So this is another reason, I think. Another big factor is like the flights, and this is 100% true. Flights to Thailand are definitely more expensive than they were, 5 to 10 years ago. Some countries have fewer, maybe direct routes, and there is various reasons why why the flights have gone up this much. A 2 week holiday that used to be affordable is now like kind of a bigger financial decision, I think, especially for like families coming over here to Thailand. And competition is definitely growing. Some countries that what did have tourism, but they're kind of growing is Vietnam definitely. That is doing very well this year. A lot of people are visiting that country as tourists. Cambodia as well and Laos are cheaper and feel new to younger travelers. I think people are looking for something a bit new. And this is moving on to the next thing. Tourism style is definitely changing. Thailand has been focusing more on high value tourists, people who spend a lot more money. So people who stay in luxury resorts, spending big money, which is great for, the really nice hotels, the 5-star hotels and that. But backpackers and budget travelers, they matter too. They're kind of important to the economy here too. So that and they kind of support some of the the local businesses alive, like the hostels, the street food, the family run bars, the motorbike rentals, all the kind of cheaper end stuff that a lot of backpackers do, or lower end tourists use when they're over here. They don't spend a lot a day, but some of them backpackers, stay longer for sure. They stay 3 4 months. I did when I first came here. I was a backpacker and I stayed here 3 4 months. Instead of the 2 week kind of tourists. So they support the local life here, and I think some of them are skipping Thailand completely, or they're coming to Thailand, but they're going out to the bigger cities. They're heading into like smaller towns, like Hua Hin or Chiang Rai or Khon Kaen, just different areas around Thailand, looking for something I think more authentic and like better value for staying long term. So maybe in the big centre areas, you're seeing less people, so it feels like there's a lot less people like in Hua Hin, Pattaya and these areas. just do us a massive favor, guys. Can you just press the subscribe button? It really helps the channel out. Thanks. I'm trying to get this 10,000 subs by Christmas. Thanks, and back to the video, guys. And there's something else that a lot of people don't really talk about. There's definitely, because I do social media, there's definitely a small group of foreign expats who want Thailand to fail, for sure. You see them online every day. I mean, I get them on my channel all the time, complaining, attacking the country, saying tourism is dead. They're shouting it from the rooftops online, you know. And I think this creates a bit of a false image of Thailand, you know, it's falling apart. Meanwhile, in Thailand, you know, millions of tourists are still arriving here in this great country, you know. Airports are still packed. I've been to, you know, Suvarnabhumi Airport. It's absolutely buzzing the other day when I was there. You know, hotels are still operating pretty normally. Yes, the occupancy is definitely down a bit. And life continues is pretty normal in Thailand. You know, Thailand isn't dying. It's just, I think it's just evolving and changing a bit. You know, the tourism industry is changing a little bit in Thailand. So why does this matter for you guys? Because you're coming over here to retire. I think tourism is very, very important for you guys. You might not think it, but it is. Because when tourism stays strong, you know, everything gets better. Hospitals grow, dentists and clinics stay cheap, restaurants and small businesses survive, you know, infrastructure continuously improves, the economy stays healthy. You know, if tourism drop too much, nobody wins, not locals, not expats, not retirees, no one. So even if you personally, you know, don't care about tourists, you should care about Thailand doing well and, you know, having a good tourism industry over here. So what's the reality? So yes, visitor numbers have definitely dropped. You know, Chinese is mainly the number that is down. It's down about 34%. And you got to remember, like, Chinese tourists are like the backbone of tourism here in Thailand. The main number of tourists is the Chinese is down, but Westerners like the UK is up 13%, and the Americans coming here up 5%. So, you know, some Western countries actually tourism is up. It's just the Chinese market for tourism has just dropped, you know, significantly. So this has had a big impact, obviously, on the tourism industry here in Thailand. Now, why are the Chinese not coming over to Thailand anymore? I think the main reason is, you know, they have got this idea that it's not a safe country anymore because of all the stuff that's happened on the news. So that's the main reason I think some of them are staying away from Thailand at the moment. Yes, the flights are definitely more expensive, 100%. Yes, there is competition from other countries now, like we said before, Vietnam and, you know, Cambodia and other places around Asia. And I think, you know, the negative news stories have definitely scared a lot of travelers away. But at the same time, I think, you know, millions are still visiting here. Long stay tourists keep coming. People are discovering new places around Thailand to see. You know, retirees are still moving here a lot. So Thailand is definitely not finished. It's just evolving. So if you pick definitely the right location, understand the cost of living and stay informed about Thailand, it can still be one of the best places in the world to live, retire, or spend just the winter here or a holiday here. You know, warm weather, great food, friendly people, and a lifestyle you just can't find in the West anymore, especially if you're on a pension. The real question isn't, is Thailand over? The real question is, where in Thailand will people go next? And, you know, that's what I talk about on my video, looking at lots of different areas for retirement around Thailand in 2026. And that's what's going to be coming up on the channel more at the start of December, guys. I'm going to be doing that a lot more. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe, like the channel, and I'll see you on the next video, guys. Take it easy.